You did what you were told. You studied, you worked, you climbed. Today you earn more than your parents, more than your grandparents could have imagined. You have a job, a salary that sounds respectable, sometimes even impressive. But deep down, you know the truth, you are not safe. One unexpected event, just one, and everything becomes fragile. A dismissal. A health emergency. A repair you didn't plan for. And you are suddenly under pressure. So what is really happening? How can you earn more and still feel like you have nothing? The answer is simple, but brutal. You are trapped. The system has trapped you in what we call the salary trap. A system designed to make you feel secure while keeping you financially fragile. A system where the more you earn, the more you spend, and where the gap between the two always remains almost the same. Close to zero. And the clever trick is that you do not even realize you are trapped, because everyone around you lives the same way. It seems normal. It seems inevitable. But it is neither normal nor inevitable. It is designed. Deliberately. To keep you in place. To keep you dependent. To keep you inside the system. Let me show you how the trap works and how you can escape it. Let us start with payday. It is supposed to be a good day, right? The money arrives. You worked hard all month and finally you are paid. But look at what really happens. Your gross salary is, let us say, 5,000 euros. That sounds good. But you never actually see those 5,000 euros. Before the money even reaches your account, it is fragmented. Cut into pieces. Income tax takes its share, maybe 1,200 euros. Social contributions take another 800 euros. Your net salary is now 3,000 euros. You lost 40% before even touching the money. And those 3,000 euros do not stay long. Rent or mortgage leaves immediately. Maybe 1,200 euros. Automatic bills follow. Electricity. Water. Internet. Phone. Insurance. Another 400 euros. Subscriptions. Netflix. Spotify. The gym membership you never use. 100 euros. Within a few days, half of your salary is gone. And you have not even bought food yet. Not filled your car with fuel. Not paid for daily necessities. The trick of automatic fragmentation is that it prevents you from feeling the real cost of your life. Because you never see the total amount. It divides instantly. You never consciously decide to pay all these things. They pay themselves. Automatically. So you never question them. You never ask yourself, do I really need all of this? What can I reduce? You simply accept it. Because it is automatic. It is invisible. And what is invisible does not hurt. At least not immediately. Now let us talk about lifestyle inflation. This is the real killer. Do you remember when you got your first raise? Maybe you went from 2,000 to 2,500 euros per month. You were excited. You thought, now I will save. Now I will build capital. Now I will invest. But what really happened? You moved into a slightly bigger apartment. You bought a better car. You started eating in more expensive restaurants. You upgraded your clothes. Your lifestyle expanded to fill you a new income. And at the end of the month, you still had almost nothing left. Because your spending increased at the same pace as your salary. This is Parkinson's law applied to finance. Expenses rise to consume available income. And here is the deadly trap. Now that you have this more expensive lifestyle, you cannot go back. Psychologically, it is almost impossible. You are used to the bigger apartment, the better car, the comfort. Going back feels like failure, like regression. So you are stuck. You must maintain this income. You must keep this job. Because your entire life is calibrated to that income level. You became richer in appearance, but not freer. In fact, you became less free, more dependent, more trapped. The system's trick is that it turns every raise into a new chain, every promotion into a new obligation. You climb the ladder, but the ladder leads nowhere except to greater dependence. Look at the real numbers. Most professionals, even those who earn well, live with less than 3 months of savings. Many with less than 1 month. That means if their salary stops, they have at most 3 months before catastrophe. Unpaid rent, unpaid bills, credit card debt. And after 3 months, the spiral begins. Debt, eviction, ruin. For someone earning 60,000 euros per year. For someone in the upper middle class. 3 months from disaster. How is that possible? Because salary does not create wealth. It creates dependence. You are not rich. You are simply well paid to remain dependent. The difference between income and wealth is fundamental, yet few people understand it. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you own. You can have a high income and no wealth. That is the situation of most people. They earn well, but they own nothing that generates money. Their only source of income is their job. So if they stop working, the money stops immediately. That is golden slavery. You are well paid. But you are not free. Real wealth means owning assets that produce income. Stocks that pay dividends. Real estate that generates rent. Businesses that produce profit. These assets work for you. Even when you sleep. Even when you are sick. Even when you stop working. That is real wealth. And most employees have none. Because you were taught to exchange your time for money. Not to make money work for you. You were trained to be an employee, not an owner. Now let us look at how the system keeps you trapped. Debt. A 30-year mortgage. A car loan. Student loans that follow you for decades. All of this creates massive monthly obligations. You must pay every month. For years. So you cannot stop working. You cannot take risks. You cannot change careers. Because you have payments to make. Banks know it. Employers know it. An indebted employee is a compliant employee. He will not demand raises aggressively. He will not insist on better conditions. He will not leave. Because he cannot afford to lose his salary. Not even for 1 month. This is control through debt. Brilliant from the system's perspective. Terrifying from the individual's perspective. Subscriptions are a modern version of the same trap. Each one seems small. 10 euros here. 15 euros there. But add them together. Netflix. Spotify. Amazon Prime. Gym. Cloud storage. Apps. Phone. Internet. Insurance. It rises quickly. 300 to 500 euros per month. That is thousands per year. Leaving automatically. Without you thinking about it. Money that could be invested. Used to build wealth. But instead it goes to services you barely use. Because canceling requires effort. So you do not do it. And companies count on that. Taxes are the largest leak. Not only income tax. That is obvious. But all the hidden taxes. VAT on everything you buy. Fuel taxes. Electricity taxes. Property taxes. Registration fees. Inheritance taxes. Add them all up and the real taxation rate is well above 50% for most people. More than half of your work goes to the state. Directly or indirectly. That is modern servitude. So how do you escape the trap? First, recognize that you are in one. Question everything. Study your bank statements. Calculate your real savings rate. Most people will be shocked. They earn a lot. But they save almost nothing. Second, deliberately create a gap between what you earn and what you spend. Do not let that gap close automatically. When your income rises, do not change your lifestyle. Save the entire increase. Third, invest that gap. Do not leave it idle. Do not spend it on gadgets or vacations. Invest in assets that generate income. Fourth, reduce fixed obligations. Cancel unnecessary subscriptions. Pay off debt as quickly as possible. Lower recurring expenses. Fifth, build a massive emergency fund. Not 3 months. Not 6 months. 1 year. 2, if possible. Cash that allows you to survive without income. There is also a psychological aspect. Stop defining yourself by your job. You are not your profession. That is a role. If your identity is tied to your job, losing the job destroys you. See employment for what it truly is. An exchange. Your time for money. Nothing more. The salary trap is not an accident. It is designed by a system that benefits from your dependence. Governments prefer dependent citizens. Employers prefer dependent employees. Banks prefer dependent borrowers. The entire structure works against your freedom. No one will free you. You must free yourself. And it begins by understanding that salary is not wealth. That earning more does not make you rich. That true wealth is the growing gap between what you earn and what you spend, transformed into assets that work for you. Modern slavery is not chains. It is debt. Obligations. Dependence. You are technically free to leave. But practically, you are stuck. The only path to freedom is building your own economic foundation. Independent of any employer. Independent of the system. Based on real assets that generate income. It takes time. Years. Maybe a decade or more. But every step in that direction is a step toward freedom. And freedom is worth every sacrifice. If this message made you uncomfortable, that means it touched something real. And awareness is always the first step toward power. Because once you see the structure, once you understand the trap, you are no longer blindly inside it. You are thinking. You are observing. You are waking up. At Selfa, we do not just talk about money. We talk about freedom. We talk about growth. We talk about building a life that is intentional, not accidental. A life where you control your decisions instead of being controlled by obligations. If you want to think differently, if you want to build differently, if you want to grow beyond the limits that society quietly places around you, then this is your place. Subscribe to Selfa. Turn on notifications. Join a community that chooses discipline over illusion, ownership over dependence, long-term freedom over short-term comfort. Your salary does not define you. Your current situation does not define you. Your past does not define you. Your decisions from this moment forward do. This is Selfa. Growth is a choice. And freedom is built, not given.